Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Liza English Podcast. We're really happy to have you here today. If this is your first time listening, welcome to our English learning space, where we help you improve your English through real conversations, practical situations, and natural speaking practice. I am your host, Liza, and I'm here with my co-host, Chris.
Hey everyone! I'm excited about today's episode because we're talking about 3 English words that I hear all the time but didn't fully understand when I first started learning English.
And that's exactly why we're discussing them today. We're going to talk about either, neither, and rather. Now, before anyone gets nervous, this is not going to be one of those grammar lessons where we stare at rules for 20 minutes.
Thank goodness.
Instead, we're going to use these words naturally while talking about everyday life. By the end of this episode, you'll hear these words so many times that they start feeling natural. Let's start with something simple. Chris, what does your morning look like? Are you one of those people who jumps out of bed full of energy? Or do you need time to wake up?
Oh, I definitely need time. A lot of time. If someone talks to me in the first 10 minutes after I wake up, I'm probably not going to understand anything they say.
I think many listeners can relate to that. So what's the first thing you do?
Coffee. Without question. Coffee comes before everything. Before breakfast, before emails, before conversations. Honestly, I'd rather skip breakfast than skip coffee.
That's a perfect example. You said, I'd rather skip breakfast than skip coffee. Native speakers use that structure all the time. For me, it's completely different. I'd rather have tea in the morning. It feels calmer. Coffee gives me too much energy sometimes.
Really? Then we have completely different morning routines.
We do, and that's another useful point. If someone says, I don't drink coffee, you could reply, I don't drink coffee either. Or if both people don't drink coffee, you could say, neither of us drinks coffee.
That's much easier to remember when it's part of a real conversation.
Let's talk about something that many people experience today. Working from home versus working in an office. If you had to choose one forever, what would you choose?
That's actually difficult. A few years ago, I would have immediately said working from home. No commuting, no traffic, no rushing in the morning. But now, I'm not so sure.
Why not?
Because after spending so much time at home, I realized something. Sometimes it's nice to be around people. When you're working from home every day, it can become repetitive. You wake up in the same place, work in the same place, eat in the same place. Everything happens in the same environment.
That's true. I think many people discovered that during remote work. Personally, I'd rather have a mix of both. A few days at home and a few days in an office.
I agree. Actually, neither option is perfect. Working from home has advantages. Working in an office has advantages.
Exactly. And listeners, notice how naturally Chris used the word neither. He said, neither option is perfect. That's a phrase you'll hear often in English conversations. Okay, let's move to another topic, travel. Would you rather travel alone or with friends?
That's easy. I'd rather travel with friends. Traveling is more fun when you can share experiences with other people. You create memories together. You laugh about mistakes together. And if something goes wrong, at least you're not dealing with it alone.
That's a good point, but I'd rather travel alone sometimes.
Really? Why?
Because you have complete freedom. You can wake up when you want, visit places you want, eat where you want. You don't have to negotiate every decision.
That's true. When you travel with friends, deciding where to eat can become a group meeting.
Exactly. Sometimes choosing a restaurant takes longer than eating the meal.
And sometimes neither person can decide. One person says, "I don't care." The other person says, "I don't care either." And suddenly, nobody knows where to go.
That is surprisingly common. Let's talk about something fun: movies and TV shows. Chris, after a long day, what would you rather do? Watch a movie or start a new TV series?
That's actually difficult. A few years ago, I would have said movies without thinking. But now there are so many good TV series that I spend more time watching them. If I had to choose, I'd probably rather start a new series.
Really? Even knowing that a series might take weeks to finish?
That's part of the fun. A movie ends in 2 hours. A good series can keep you interested for months. You get attached to the characters. You start wondering what's going to happen next. Before you know it, you're watching just one more episode at midnight.
I think many listeners know exactly what you're talking about. Personally, I'd rather watch a movie. Sometimes I don't want to commit to a series with 6 seasons and 100 episodes. I like knowing that the story will be finished in one evening.
That's fair. Actually, neither choice is wrong. It depends on your mood. Sometimes I want a long story. Other times I just want to relax for a couple of hours.
Exactly. And that's something useful to remember about English. Native speakers often use rather when talking about preferences. For example, I'd rather watch a comedy than a horror movie. I'd rather stay home and watch a movie than go out. I'd rather watch something funny after a stressful day.
That's definitely me. After a difficult day, I'd rather laugh than think too much.
Same here. What about horror movies? Do you enjoy them?
Not really. In fact, I don't enjoy horror movies at all.
Interesting. I don't enjoy them either.
See? We finally agree on something.
Yes, we do. Neither of us enjoys spending 2 hours being scared for entertainment.
Exactly. Life is stressful enough already.
That's a very good point. Now let's talk about technology. I have a question. Would you rather lose your phone for a week or lose access to the internet for a week?
Wow, that's a difficult question. A few years ago, I would have said losing my phone. But today our phones do everything. Messages, maps, photos, banking, work, everything. So I think I'd rather lose internet access.
Really? I don't know if I could do that. I use the internet constantly. For work, for learning, for entertainment, for communication. I'd rather lose my phone and use a computer instead.
That's actually smart. I didn't think about that. Maybe I'd change my answer.
I think this shows how dependent we have become on technology. Many people start feeling uncomfortable if they don't check their phones for a few hours.
That's true. Sometimes I pick up my phone without even realizing it. Then I forget why I picked it up in the first place.
I think that happens to everyone. You unlock your phone, look at the screen, and then suddenly think, what was I trying to do?
Exactly. It's like my brain takes a short vacation.
Now here's another question. Would you rather have the newest phone every year or keep the same phone for 5 years?
I'd rather keep the same phone. As long as it works, I'm happy. I don't need the newest model every year.
I agree. Neither of us seems very interested in buying a new phone every few months.
That's because we're getting practical. Or maybe we're just getting older.
Maybe a little of both. But I think there's a useful lesson here. Many English conversations are simply discussions about choices and preferences. And words like either, neither, and rather appear naturally in those discussions. You don't need to force them. You just need to talk about real life.
That's true. And the more you hear them, the easier they become. At first, they seem complicated. But after hearing them in everyday conversations, they start feeling completely normal.
Exactly. And that's the goal. Not memorizing grammar, using English naturally. Let's talk about weekends. After a busy week, how do you usually spend your weekends?
Honestly, I'd rather stay home than go somewhere crowded. When I was younger, I always wanted to be out doing something. Now I enjoy quiet weekends, watching a movie, reading, relaxing.
I understand that. I think many people change as they get older. I'd rather have a peaceful weekend than a busy one.
Exactly. Neither of us sounds very exciting right now.
Maybe not. But I think many listeners secretly agree with us. Okay, listeners, now let's practice together. Repeat after us. I don't like coffee either.
I don't like coffee either.
Neither option is perfect.
Neither option is perfect.
I'd rather stay home tonight.
I'd rather stay home tonight.
I'd rather travel with friends.
I'd rather travel with friends.
Excellent. Today's lesson is simple. Don't memorize these words in isolation. Learn them through real conversations. The more you hear words like either, neither, and rather in context, the more naturally you'll use them yourself.
And that's much easier than memorizing a page full of grammar rules.
I completely agree. That brings us to the end of today's episode of the Liza English podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends learning English. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Keep practicing and keep improving your English every day.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.